Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday to you all. I am excited about today's show. We have a whole lineup of guests with me, a whole table full, which always makes my heart happy. We have a great program to talk to you guys about, which happens to just fit right in because it is like prime graduation season. L&M graduated last weekend. We got the Muskies and West Liberty and Wilton and all of these graduates. So you are going to want to stay tuned in to the show today. But first, I want to say thank you to all of our show sponsors who make it possible for us to bring this to you and give this platform to all these nonprofits and people doing great things in Muscatine every single day. So thank you so much to R7, of course, Lutheran Living and CBI, Impact Athletic Performance, Toyota of Muscatine, Suntan City Muscatine, Unity Point Health Trinity Muscatine, and of course Hy-Vee as we take over their market grill every morning. They are so kind and generous to let us do that. So we are gonna just jump right in today. We have, like I said, a whole table full, actually a table and a half full of people to chat with today. So I'm going to let you guys kind of go down the line and introduce yourselves and who you kind of represent today. That way, not only will Jess not be confused as she puts up your titles throughout the show, but also everybody in the community can kind of get to know you as well. You want to start?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I can get started. So hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Claudia, and I'm representing here AIM. I am their Student Success Facilitator.
My name is Jesse Garcia. I'm a Latinx Outreach Coordinator through Iowa State Extension and Outreach for Muscatine County.
I'm Kim Moore. I'm the Director of Aligned Impact Muscatine County, and that's a program that's housed in the United Way office.
Good morning. I am Kari Hansen, and I am Admissions and Outreach at Muscatine Community College.
Awesome. So we are here to talk about really a program that you guys are all collaborating on. And truthfully, it's for these graduating seniors to make sure, I don't want to like totally mutilate this, but to make sure that those who are planning on going to either a secondary, whether it be a 4-year, 2-year, a trade school, whatever it is, that if those are in the plans, that they actually happen. Because I didn't realize this, but when I got Kim's email, you actually said that there is a statistic that a pretty big number of those students don't end up actually following through with those plans in the fall. So let's talk a little bit about that and some of those numbers and stuff and why you guys decided to join up to make sure that we can reduce that number for Muscatine.
Yeah, so Aligned Impact Muscatine County is really, our focus is bringing the different sectors of the community together to work collaboratively to improve outcomes for students and families. And one of our big goals is to increase the number of students who, from high school, enroll in post-secondary education. And just like you said, Ashley, it can be trades. We know that's very valuable post-secondary education, 2-year, 4-year, whatever really fits the career path they're wanting to do. And when we look at the data, you know, in Muscatine County, probably for at least the past 4 years, when you look at the percentage of seniors who say they intend to go to post-secondary and then look at our enrollment rates, there's about 20% of students who don't end up on campus. That's almost 100 students every year.
Wow.
So when we were looking at that information and we were talking to students and people who work in the high schools about what was really driving that, one thing that came out was, you know, the counselors aren't paid to work during the summer. That's out of their contract hours. And students, you know, identified that they didn't have that support system over the summer. If something came up, they weren't sure what to do, or if they hadn't finalized their decision, they weren't sure how to take those next steps. So we thought, well, why don't we do what we do best and bring the community together, bring multiple organizations together who work with students and come up with a plan to address it together to help support students over the summer.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because I always think it's so crazy that we expect these 17 and 18-year-old kids to know, like, oh, well, this is what I'm going to do with my life when I grow up. Like, that is a huge decision to make, and not everyone knows. Like, they're in high school, they're worried about so many different things, and we expect them to know what the next step is. And even if they think they know, they don't always have those plans finalized. And so I think you're probably right. Like, something happens along the way. Maybe their parents didn't go through that path themselves, and so they don't even know what the right next step is. And there is a lot of paperwork and a lot of things that kind of go into that next step. And so it can be very overwhelming if you don't know, and you're a 17 or 18-year-old, kind of jumping into that next step in life. And so I love this so much. So let's talk a little bit about what this means. What's the next step for you guys? What's going to happen this summer to make sure that these kiddos aren't left behind, that they're not in that situation?
So the wonderful people at the table with me are all dedicating open office hours at all 3 high schools and at Muscatine Community College, and offer virtually to help students. And I think I'll let them talk about a little bit about where they're going to be and what they're going to be doing.
Awesome.
I can get started. So I'm going to be covering West Liberty and Wilton. I am going to be located in their schools directly, and then I am just going to be sitting there. They can either sign up through a Google Doc that we have. Google form that we have is completely anonymous. You just put down all your information, and we get it, we do it, redirected. And then if you want to do Zoom hours, I thought, many students want to get so much money during the summer, so they work 8 to 5. So I was thinking, okay, if I were one of those students, I would want to meet, but everything is closed by 5. So I decided to have like Zoom hours or library hours after 5, and just offered them until 6:30, so they have some time to do that, so they catch up. Just because you're low income and just because you have to work doesn't mean you don't have the opportunity to go to college. So that's why I wanted to offer that.
I love that. Yeah. So you'll be right there at the schools.
Yes.
For them. So it's a familiar place, which is great. I love that. And so how do they get this Google Doc that they would sign up on? Where's that located?
Yeah, so right now we're distributing all the materials to the 3 high schools.
Okay.
We have sent it to the principal and everything. They are going to be on the TVs at the high schools. They're going to be put in the website. They're going to be thrown around in social media.
Sure.
I can help them out. I'll be the mentor there. I'll be at the high school inside of the counselor's office Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If they need something available outside of those hours, I'll take an appointment.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll be located there. The entrance will be through the back, so like you said, it's a familiar place. That's what we wanted to go with, so that they're not struggling to find us. We want it to be simple and easily accessible.
Sure.
And we'll probably have some flyers up at the front doors, even though they're locked, so that you can
figure out where to go.
Yeah, figure out what to do or who to call
Yep.
if you just show up there. So the information should be easily accessible to everybody. So at least
Cool.
we're trying to make sure that it is. So.
Yep. And I can imagine that you might be at MCC.
Yes, I will be at MCC, and I'm available to help students no matter what college they go to. And that's the great thing about community college. Any community college is here for the community. So, and we have and always have been able to help any student with their FAFSA or any information no matter what college they're going to. Obviously, if they're going to a different college, it'll be hard for us to tell them specifics, but we are a communities college, and we're here to help students no matter what they need, whether they want to come to MCC or they want to do something else. So I'm available to help with any facet of the college decision-making process. We have career exploration we can do with the students, or just have a chat about how does college work.
Yeah.
Students don't know what they don't know, and we have great high school counselors who work so hard with our students, but sometimes students just aren't ready. And then summer hits, they graduate, and they're like, oh, I have to do something.
Crap, it's
and
time.
So, yes, it's time. And so that's when we want to catch these students. So even if it's just talking through, like, how would I even begin to start? We are available and here to answer any kind of questions and help them with whatever we can.
Yeah. That's awesome to know. I guess I didn't even really know that even if you weren't going to MCC, that you could go and get those resources from the community college. That's amazing. What a great service to offer. But those things can be overwhelming, but you have a whole table full of people who are dedicated, literally dedicated to making sure that you can be successful in those next steps, whether you've made that decision already or whether you need some help kind of guiding towards what should be my next, like this is what I want to do. What should be the next step? Should I go to a trade school or should it be 2-year? Or, you know, these folks really can help guide you and tell you what your options are. And there are a lot of options, and everyone's different. And so I think it's cool and so important that we make sure that people don't get lost this summer, and that our students aren't, especially students who are craving to have that post-secondary education, that they don't get lost over the summer and then, you know, just never go back. Because I'm sure there's, I don't know the statistic, but I'm sure after this summer, if they don't go back in the fall, that they're likely to not, you know, they'll get into that career, or they'll find a job and it'll be a full-time job, and then they'll get used to that, you know, that full-time money, and then all of a sudden they just kind of get stuck in that routine and then don't go back, or don't go back for a very long time. So I don't know. You guys might even know that statistic.
Yeah, no, the data bears that to be true. There's a slight uptick in enrollment within the first year. You know, you might get a couple more percentage points.
Yeah.
But after that, it's very unlikely. One thing I did want to make sure that we talked about was that we are very fortunate that Muscatine, Wilton, and West Liberty high schools all have post-secondary counselors. Not a lot of schools have a dedicated position to helping get students on track. Kari Hawkins at Muscatine and Andrea Schulte at Wilton and West Liberty, Schulteis at Wilton and West Liberty, they do a great job, and I really think if it wasn't for them setting up a good foundation with the students and their community collaboration, we wouldn't have been able to get this set up over the summer for the students. So just really wanted to make sure we gave a shout out to our high schools and the good programs that they've added the past couple years that have really been setting students up for success.
Yeah, I think it does. It takes a village of people to make sure that students know that they are capable, and that we all believe in them, and believe in the successes that they can have, and just make them believe that they have a whole community behind them to support them in whatever decisions that they make. So very cool to hear about this project, and all of the statistics and stuff that you've shared. I think it's so important that we make sure that they have everything that they need to continue on. So there are, she shared some graphics with us that we'll pull up just so you kind of have some of the services offered at each of these places. So whether it be, you know, at Muscatine, or, you know, if you're going to Wilton or West Liberty, all of these services are going to be offered at all of those locations. Things like financial aid assistance, college enrollment, career exploration, post-secondary mentorship. There is also that link, looks like, to the Google form, when each of those places will be open, and we can put those also up for you on Discover Muscatine, so you have those readily available, and have that information that you can grab and print off, or whatever you need to do. We want you guys to have all the information that you need to be successful, for sure. So this is exciting. How long have you guys been working on this project? For a while?
Maybe 2 months, maybe, since we started
just
thinking about it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been something that we want to do during the summer, especially because, you know, COVID hit these kids a lot.
Yeah.
They did not get to have all the experiences, like, you know, their junior year, their senior year, and they got the short stick of the thing and everything. And we were like, okay, we're going to do something during summer. So if you count that, we've been working on it for quite a while, but it's been actually put in practice maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
So that is officially.
Yeah, well, I think if I remember correctly, it was not that long ago that I was in high school, and I feel like my junior year was when a lot of that, like, counseling and, like, okay, these are some of the steps, and you kind of thought about like, okay, these are the schools that I kind of want to maybe go visit, you know, your senior year, and then you go visit them your senior year. And so a lot of those things, like you said, like, well, COVID was their junior year, and so that stuff didn't really happen, and most of their junior year didn't even happen in person. And then, you know, this year, I'm sure a lot of those college visits probably didn't happen, or they were virtual, or, you know, who knows. So it's great that they have this little extra time and an extra support system to continue on and make the right decisions for themselves. I don't know what else we need to make sure that we get across, but this support system is here for you. I hope that you utilize it. These folks all know the ins and outs of the paperwork and all of the stuff that can be overwhelming. And then you just do what you're good at, which is, you know, the school part. So reach out to one of them, depending on, you know, your location, and they can help out. We can stick the phone number in there if that's the easiest way for you to reach out. We'll stick that in the comments section for everybody, so it's easy for you guys to reach out to one of these lovely folks. And I really hope that we can lower that 20%. That is a big number. 100 kids in our community that kind of get lost in the cracks throughout the summer. So let's make sure that that number gets lower. And if you're watching and maybe you're not a graduating senior this year, or you don't have one, but share the news, and that's knowledge is power. So if you're watching today, make sure you spread this and tell people that this service is out there and that our community has kind of come together and is providing this, so we can make sure that these students aren't lost this summer for sure. And next year you guys can come and tell us that that number is way lower for sure. So thank you guys so much for coming. Yes?
Yeah. Just as a side note to add, Claudia and I are both bilingual, fluent in Spanish, so
awesome.
All of these services are going to be, we'll do it all in Spanish if we have to, especially in that outreach to those West Liberty kids, because that community is primarily Spanish speaking.
Yes.
So just to put that out there as well, that we are both fluent in Spanish, so to anybody who needs that service offered through that language as well, we can do that as well. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome to know for those communities too, especially for you want the parents and the students to feel comfortable and be able to walk through those processes together and feel comfortable. So that's amazing that you guys can provide that service as well. So yeah, even better. Yeah. So give them a call, use the Google Doc and sign up, and no matter how big or how small your questions are, they can answer those and make sure that you are successful and are ready to go this fall. Thank you guys again for coming on. I appreciate it so much. We are going to go to a commercial break, and then we will be right back to talk a little bit more about some of the great things happening in Muscatine.
We just don't work out in a single plane of motion.
We're going live, sorry. All right, so we have a couple things to mention that are super important. One of which, one of our, not only our good friends here at Discover Muscatine and Pearl City Media, but one of my good friends, Charla Schaefer's birthday is today. So shout out to you. My goodness, such a huge asset to our community, a mentor to many. I cannot even imagine the lives that you have impacted in our community and beyond. So happy birthday. I hope you are just filled with sunshine and lots of love today. Happy birthday. Also, I wanted to remind you all that Discover Muscatine will be live streaming the Muskie graduation this Sunday. So for those of you who don't have tickets to that, or would like to watch, maybe you live out of town, we will be live streaming that. We have upgraded and have a lot of really cool new features that we have added to that. So it will be a really cool performance for you, I think. It'll be great for you to watch, even from your couches. I know that a lot of people want to be there in person, but to keep things safe and for space, we will be there streaming that live for you so that you can all enjoy that. You can get that on Discover Muscatine Facebook page. It'll be on our website, all of those things, so that you can easily find that. Tony and I will be going live with just some, I don't know, we'll be chatting about some stuff about 20 minutes before the ceremony starts, so you'll have time to find us, get logged in, all of those fun things. Make sure that you're all set up on your TV and comfortable. Maybe get some popcorn. I don't know what you guys are planning, but you guys can tune in and be ready for the ceremony in plenty of time to enjoy that and recognize all those Muskies that are going to be graduating this weekend. So hopefully we'll be outside and the weather is going to be nice, but if not, the show must go on and we'll be in the gym. But we will be live streaming regardless, and you can do that from the comfort of your own home if you are not going to be there in person. So we are excited about that. This will be the second year that we're doing that. Next on the agenda, I wanted to mention, so our friends at Lutheran Living sponsor this day in history and national days. And today happens to be Rescue a Dog Day. And a couple of things came to mind for this day. The first one that came to mind was a thing that you will find in your Discover Muscatine paper every single week. And I think Jess will pull up for us the image. And every week we feature 2 new pets. This is sponsored by Kent Pet Group. And these pets are from our local Humane Society looking to be adopted. There's also a list of things, a list of items that the local shelter is in need of to help care for these pets. But I thought on National Rescue Dog Day that this was appropriate for me to share with you. There's so many animals there that need a good home. So if you're in that space in life where you are looking for a new pet, go and check them out first. Go and see if there is a pet there that fits your home, and I can almost assure you, you'll find someone that will just fill your heart. We thank Kent Pet Group for sponsoring that and being such a great supporter of our local shelter. Also, another place that comes to mind is some friends of mine who recently started a rescue in Muscatine. It's called It Takes a Village Rescue. And I love reading all of the success stories that they have had already in their journey. But I encourage you guys to go and check out their Facebook page. And they just rescued a ton of puppies, and so always check out those places. Today is National Rescue a Dog Day, so what better day than to check out some of those places if you're in the, I guess, on the hunt for a new little 4-legged friend. Also, they are always looking for volunteers for foster families for their pets. So that's another way to kind of be able to love on some pets for a while and help out a really great cause. So reach out to them if you are interested in that. It's also National Be a Millionaire Day. And I don't really know exactly how that works, but I'm like into that. So If you guys know how, I just like sign up to be a millionaire. I'm cool with that. Like, that'd be fine. But I am so glad you guys joined us today. It's a little bit rainy out there, but there was so much good news in here and on the show today. I hope that you guys will all reach out and spread this news that this great program is in our community, and let people know that this resource is out there so that we continue to have it in our community, and that these students don't fall through the cracks over the summer months. It is a big job to fill out all the paperwork and answer all those questions. So I'm so glad that this resource is here for all of us. And like they said, it's offered, they have bilingual support. So if that's something that you need, that is also totally available. We'll stick that phone number in the comments section. Maybe Jess, could you pull up one of those forms again for us that has the link on there so that they can maybe jot that down here just for a second. So that's the Google form that you can fill out to sign up if you want to sign up for a session with one of the counselors that can help you fill out the paperwork. It also offers some of the hours for Muscatine. There are also different hours for Wilton School and West Liberty School as well. But we will stick that phone number for you guys in the comments section. Today, for the Hy-Vee focus, it is, even though it's raining, Big Ben is still going to be out on the grill. So we will show you a little bit what those steaks look like, and they look yummy. So if you are craving some good grill food but don't want to stand out in the rain yourself, let Ben do it for you. Here's a little video of him doing that. Awesome. It looks delicious. No one wants to stand out in the rain, so you might as well let Ben do that for you. And today is the day. I think, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Ben said through the month of May, they were like $8 or something for this meal. That's crazy. So come out and enjoy that. You can either come in the Market Grill and enjoy that, or you can take it to go. So easy peasy. Again, thank you so much to all of our sponsors of the show, and thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. We will be back again tomorrow with some guests for you. More great things happening in Muscatine. And don't forget, we'll be live streaming that Muskie graduation on Sunday for you all as well. And if you see Charlotte out and about, wish her a happy birthday. Thank you so much for joining us. And until tomorrow, remember that kindness is free. So spread that stuff wherever you go.
We wanted to bring the atmosphere that we create for a shopping experience at the barn to the streets of Coralville. People love to come to Iowa River Landing for eating, drinking, meeting with their friends, and we want to give them a place to find unique home essentials and experience a one-of-a-kind opportunity to style your home with unique quality goods. R7 Coralville is open daily, so you can shop when you want. R7's hours in Coralville are Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7, and Sunday from noon to 4. You'll find R7 right on the main street of Iowa River Landing with 3 parking ramps and on-street parking nearby to make finding us simple for you. Our small town roots of R7 lean toward hospitality, and right here in Coralville, you're going to find the R7 crew making you feel at home while you shop.